Hey everybody, how are you? This is Kim Danke. I hope that y'all have had a wonderful Easter. If you don't mind, when you come on, if you will set your chat to all panelists and attendees. That way, when you comment, everybody can see your comment and not just me. If you have it set to all panelists, I'll be the only one that can see that. But if you set it to all panelists and attendees, everybody will. Hey, Bo and Kania. Awesome. I'm glad that y'all are here. I always give it until 8:03 for people to get logged in. So we're just going to chat for these few minutes. If you don't mind, tell me where you're from and tell me if you are new or if you're here for a refresh. So that information will help me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share a PowerPoint with you. And what tonight is day one of a 7-day fast track to just show you how to do the program and how to use the website. And then you will continue to learn after these 7 days. But these 7 days is your deep dive into how to do this program. Okay, I gotcha. All right, Kania, that's awesome. Let's see. And Mary's from Blairsville. She's new, member since October 2019, but never really got fully engaged yet. Well, thank you for joining. This is the right place. Yes. And Bo, my friend, is new. And I'll tell you what, he is just doing it all, which is great. Great. Hey, Deanda from Smyrna, refreshing. Awesome. Awesome. Well, that is fantastic. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and we are going to get started. Y'all feel free to continue to chat. And I'm going to introduce myself real quick, and then I'm going to turn on this PowerPoint. And my name is Kim Danke. I am your fast track instructor. I found Shibboleth actually 1 year ago. 1 year ago Friday, this past Friday, I started Shibboleth. Now, it was on a Wednesday last year, but I started Shibboleth because I got on a scale one morning and I weighed 185.5, and I didn't want to weigh 185.5. So I just said, I got to do something about this. I got to figure this out. And my friend had been posting about Shibboleth on her Facebook page. And so I went back to her page, scrolled through, found her post with the word that she was mentioning, and I called her and I asked her to tell me about it, and she did. And I went up to the Shibboleth store in Cartersville on a Saturday. And my friend Patricia Hurt said I needed to join. I needed to join that day. I needed to do 2 years worth of membership and all these things. And I said, yes, ma'am, and just did what she said to do. So I started the program and I lost 35.5 pounds to get to my first goal of 150 in 3 months. I went into our maintenance program and continued to lose weight, lost another 15 pounds. And so the Lord has given me a 50-pound weight loss, and I have been enjoying that weight loss and maintaining that weight loss since last September. I have a master's degree in education from the University of Alabama at Birmingham. And once I figured out that this is really just a nutrition education that people needed to know about, I just decided that I needed to help teach it. But also, I just wanted to pour into other people and teach them something that I find to be one of the most important things that you can ever learn about. How to either get rid of unwanted body fat that you don't want, that might be making you uncomfortable, that might be making you not as healthy as you could be, and not living the life that you want. And these ideas that are all together in this one program work because they are the truth and they work. So I hope that you enjoy our time together tonight, and I hope that you fully engage in the fast track this week. I'm going to at the end of this video. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you, and we are going to look at a PowerPoint together. This is the Shibboleth lifestyle that you have joined. And what I would like for you to do is I would like for you to find a video. You can be in one of I want you to be in the new member fast track group on Facebook. If you're not in that group, totally fine. Let me know if you're not on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, be in the group. But if you're not on Facebook, you can email me and I can send you the link to the video that I want you to watch about Travis telling why the Shibboleth, because I'm not going to explain that tonight. He can do it better, and I would like for you to watch that video. Okay, but tonight is a program overview. And I just kind of get down to the nitty gritty of it and tell you how to do the program, okay, the how to do it. And so the basics are what they are. There are 2 types of days in Shibboleth. There's a, there are 2 modes in Shibboleth. There is either weight loss mode or weight loss means that you have not gotten to your goal weight yet. You haven't reached that point. You don't have your victory badge yet. You are in weight loss. Once you've gotten to your goal weight and you have your victory badge, then you can go into our maintenance program. There are 3 differences between weight loss and maintenance. 1 is the number of holidays that you get in a month. 2 is how you eat fruit, and we'll go over that in a minute. And 3 is your mindset. So there's 2 modes in Shibboleth, weight loss or maintenance. And then there are 2 types of days in Shibboleth. We either have a perfect day or we have a holiday. In the Bible, it says, I wish that you were hot or cold, but you were lukewarm, therefore I spewed you out of my mouth. We are going to have a perfect day or we're going to have a holiday. Okay. And what you're going to find in that is this creates a lovely life of balance. And that is a very, very important thing that you live a life of balance, because so many people are either on the planet or off the planet. We live on planet Shibboleth here. And you know how that's kind of like saying on the wagon or off the wagon? Then when you are having your perfect days, and you're utilizing your holidays as you need it, this is living a lovely, balanced life. You're not off the planet, okay? You're living the planet. You're living the life that the planet provides, which is great. Okay, so the next thing we've got here is the number of holidays, because everybody's always curious, how many holidays can I have in a month? Well, if you're in weight loss mode, you can use up to 6 holidays. So you really do need to give yourself 24 to 25 perfect days in a month and able to get the weight off that you're wanting to get off, okay? But those other 6 days are holidays that you can use. You can use them. Now, what I want you to know about these holidays is my strategy behind holidays is that you should schedule them out. Meaning, this is the way I do it. I pull out a calendar first day of the month. I mark down, am I going out of town? Because if I'm going out of town, I know I want to use holidays. And then if I'm going out of town, I mark them down. And then I ask myself, is there any other special day this month? Is there any birthdays? Is there an anniversary? Is there anything special this month I want to celebrate? Like today, I had a holiday. It's Easter. And then is there anything on my work schedule that I might need to have a holiday for? So I got to go through those questions. But my first question is, am I going out of town? My second question is, what other special days are in this month, and so forth. And I plan my holidays out. That way, I know what I'm doing every single day when I wake up. Is it going to be a perfect day or is it going to be a holiday? Once you have gotten into maintenance mode, meaning you've lost to your goal weight and you have your victory badge, you can utilize up to 12 holidays in a calendar month. Is that not amazing? That sounds like a lot of holidays, okay? But let me just tell you, your mindset is going to change so many times by the time you get to these 12 holidays, and you may not be full out hog troughing it on those 12 holidays. You may just be having a little challah meal, but it still is called a holiday, okay? But mindset changes happen all along. But if you continue to do your 12 holidays, you don't have to do them. They're just available. But if you continue to have perfect, truly perfect days on all the other days when you're in maintenance mode, then you are going to be able to maintain the weight loss, all right? So you just have to do the work to get to maintenance, all right? The next thing we're going to talk about is, how do I have a perfect day? Basically, you follow the Shibboleth Shield. After 2 perfect days, your body is in what we call EFT B, efficient fat burning. I love efficient fat burning. Before Shibboleth, I had no idea that I could kind of get my body ready to efficiently burn fat. I did not know how to access and burn stored fat. And that's what we do in Shibboleth. We access and burn stored fat purposefully rather than accidentally just trying to apply some thing that we read in a book or some article we read on the internet. We are purposefully accessing and using stored energy, which is fat, and it comes off of our body. It's amazing. And I tell folks, once you get into EFB, string as many efficient fat burning days together as you can, okay? Now, when you're journaling, you're gonna see all this appear in your timing chart, and you're gonna have all these little flames in your timing chart and these other little icons that you'll see, and that'll help you determine if you're doing your best, okay? So what is the Shibboleth Shield? We actually call this too the bulletproof shield, meaning if you follow this the way that you're supposed to, it is a bulletproof shield. You will be able to lose weight. I promise it does work. And I've never had anybody that it didn't work for, okay, if they're following the shield. So this is what you do. You're gonna drink water, you're gonna journal, you're gonna eat food in the right combinations, you're gonna portion control, and you're gonna utilize some timing strategies, okay? So water, journal, combinations, portions, and timing. Those are the 5 things that we utilize, okay? Now I'm gonna stop right here, see if I have any comments. I do have some comments. That is awesome. Thank you, y'all. I got some people watching on Facebook too, which is awesome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, thank you. Okay, now we're going to go over each component of the Shibboleth Shield. Number 1 is water. Okay, water is so important. We actually have entire 1-hour videos on why you need to drink your water in the video library in your account. But today, I'm just going to tell you the basics of what you want to make sure that you are doing every single day. You want to drink at least half a gallon of water every day. That is really just 4 regular sized water bottles, okay? But your goal is a gallon, which of course would be 8 of those. And if we're looking at numbers, half a gallon is 64 ounces. A full gallon is 128 ounces. You want to make sure that you get in at least a half a gallon of water. Now, I'm a stickler, okay? If you get in 63 ounces of water, that's not half a gallon. Just drink 1 more ounce to make sure that you keep the integrity of the program strong. But a dehydrated body will not efficiently give up fat or waste, and we need it to do both of those things to have success. So component number 1 of the Shibboleth Shield is water. Component number 2 of the Shibboleth Shield is journal. You want to journal everything that goes in your mouth. There are no idle bites on planet Shibboleth. You journal for the behavior modification that needs to take place. I said it, behavior modification. We've got to modify our behavior. We have had some behaviors that are not body friendly, okay? So we've got to modify those behaviors. So you've got to journal daily. You just do that on the website in your account. You can also do it in your app too. But if you are able to access it through your computer, I like for people to do it on the computer because there's so much more robust opportunities for you to use in the website than on the app. I like the app for convenient journaling when you're out and about. But if you're at home or you can access your computer, please access it there, okay? But anyway, this is what you do. If you bite it, you write it. If you nibble it, you scribble it. If you drink it, you ink it. If you hog it, you log it. Okay, so what that means is you're going to journal both your perfect days and your holidays. You need to journal both. You can learn a lot from what you've done on the holidays, so you want to make sure you journal that as well. You like my little thing right here, done and done. I'm going to get that done because people don't really want to take the time to journal. And honestly, journaling only takes about 3 minutes. It's really less than 5 for sure. It's in your day. But just the act of doing it, sometimes people don't want to do it. But if you don't journal, it's not considered a perfect day. So y'all make sure you journal. Okay, category 3, or component number 3 of the Shibboleth Shield is combinations. This is a biggie, and we're going to come back to this one on a whole other slide. But you want to eat properly combined meals. Properly combined meals keep away what we call the fat bus. And we'll go over the fat bus in just a minute. And I'm going to come back to what a properly combined meal is. Component number 4 of the Shibboleth Shield is portions. We're going to eat properly portioned meals from a 6 to 8 inch plate using the 2-hand rule, okay? So this is the 2-hand rule. I fold my thumbs in like this. I put my hands as close together. See, I could not get my hands any closer. I really could not. I'm going to put my hands like this, and I'm going to place them down over my food. If I cannot see my food sticking out around my hands, then I'm good, okay? I love that because I do not have to count calories. I don't have to measure. I don't have to weigh. I just carry my 2 measuring tools wherever I go. I use my 2 hands. And if you've got a 6 to 8 inch plate, a portion control plate, that's great to use that, but your 2 hands are just as good. If you're eating off of a larger plate, just use your 2 hands, okay? Because that's gonna cover it all. But the reason that portions are so important is this. There's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. So the last time I needed to lose weight, I had overeaten by 175,000 calories, okay? And I had to go backwards by that many calories to get rid of 50 pounds. But let's just talk about 1 pound. 1 pound of fat has 3,500 calories in it. So in order to get rid of that fat, we need to be in a calorie deficit of 3,500 calories to get rid of 1 pound of fat. So this is why we portion control. But do you know that portion control and calories is the number 2 way to weight reduction? The number 1 way to weight reduction is what we talked about, and we haven't completely talked about it, but component number 3 of the Shibboleth Shield combinations, that is the number 1 way to weight reduction. This calories is the number 2 component of the whole picture, okay? And we're going to go over why in just a second. And then component number 5. Now this component number 5 does not have to be hit just exactly right for you to have a perfect day. Number 1 through 4 does. So you want to get your water in, you want to journal, you want to eat your foods in the right combination, and you want to portion control. Those 4 have to be hit for you to, quote, have a perfect day. Number 5, timing is ultra important. It is, but it is not going to keep you out of having a perfect day. It is there for optimization purposes, and you're going to want to utilize it because it's important. So you could do up to 3 meals a day. You don't have to do 3 meals a day, but you don't want to do more than 3 meals a day. Here's the thing. You've probably heard, oh, eat 5 to 6 small meals a day. Well, that is a myth. It is a myth. That is not what we need to do. We need to have no more than 3 meals a day. So we look at it as breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, and dinner for the Holy Spirit. It is a time to sit down with the Lord and tell him, thank you. Thank you for this food that you just provided for me. Lord, thank you. I am going to self-discipline myself for the sake of our relationship so that my temple, your temple, my body where you live is going to be the best that it can. And thank you for this food. Thank you for helping me control my portions. Thank you for helping me think through the way I'm going to combine this on my plate. And thank you for our time together in our relationship. So you're going to have 3 meals a day. If you want 3 meals, if you don't want to have 2, it's fine. You want to eat these meals about 4 to 6 hours apart. So if you happen to be a breakfast eater, and I say that I'm a breakfast eater, but I know people that aren't. So if you're a breakfast eater, you're going to want to eat within an hour or 2 of waking. And then you can eat lunch 4 to 6 hours later and eat dinner 4 to 6 hours later. That's that. In moments of mental weakness, because I do like to address this, then we do have things called freebies, an extra, or a snack. Now, what I want to say about freebies, extras, and snacks is this. It adds to the calorie intake that you've taken in. So it does slow you down in getting to the 3,500 calorie deficit that you're wanting to get to lose a pound of fat. All right. Now, so let's think about this. I like for everybody to walk through this. Let's say that you're utilizing freebies. Now, freebies really can be eaten at any time that you want them, okay? There's dill pickers, dill pickles, that is egg whites, that's sugar-free Jell-O, and some other things that people like. But freebies can be eaten anytime. An extra is something that's too much to be a freebie. but it's a little something like, for example, a bio coffee or a cocoa ringa. Those are both considered extras. A diet lemonade from Chick-fil-A is an extra because their diet lemonade, even though it's called diet, is not 0 calorie. It's got 50 calories in it. So that would be an extra. And then there's some other things that are extras. And then a snack. A snack is no more than 200 calories, and it would have to be approved, okay? All of these would have to be approved from the food library. So you have your snack. But let's just say that you ate so many freebies that they eventually added up. So I'm going to use 30 calories as an example. And let's say you had an extra of 70 calories. All right, 70 and 30 is 100. Then let's say you had a snack that's 200. Well, 200 and 100 is 300. So let's divide 300 into 3,500. I'm going to tell you, it's 11.67. You have just slowed down your weight loss by 11.67 days if you are adding this to your meals every single day. So what I would do is what I did in weight loss was I focused highly in on just having my 3 meals a day. That is what I did. Now, when it came to July 4th and I wanted to have a holiday, you know what I did? I added in an extra and a snack, and I felt like I was having a holiday, and I really wasn't. I didn't come out of EFB for doing it, okay? But here's what I want you to understand. Don't give up a perfect day because you really want to eat something. Just go to an approved item, okay? Just go to an approved item if you haven't already utilized it, okay? Then you still are having a perfect day. It might slow you down a minute, but it won't bring you out of efficient fat burning. But that's the point. You don't want to come out of efficient fat burning, so you want to utilize these things. But the reason that Travis calls using these things in moments of mental weakness is because we really could make it from breakfast to lunch, and we really could make it from lunch to dinner. We really could make it from dinner to bedtime. So it is a mental thing. A lot of times we just want something. We just want it. We just want to sit down in our recliner and put our feet up and eat something. I know, because that's my favorite thing to do is to pop my feet up. So I like to pop my feet up and relax with my approved food now. But sometimes we just want something. We just want a flavor. You know, we just want something, okay? But that's why we have to tell ourselves we're modifying our behavior. We are exercising our self-discipline muscle. I am not going to do that. But if you truly are hungry, you can utilize one of those things if you needed it. But if you want to the clock and say, I am not going to have anything until lunch, or I am not going to have anything to dinner, then please do that. And I find that if I eat early and then I sleep so much better. I think y'all might find the same thing, is when you eat early, you sleep better. Okay, so that is the optimization of timing. Now, what I want you to understand is you're not expected to understand everything this week. We're trying to get you a program overview tonight so that you can go ahead and get started, because it is not hard to start getting your water in. It is not hard to start writing down your food. It is really not hard to do combinations either. That next. Portion control. Is that 4? Yeah. Portion controlling. You're using your 2 hands. That's not hard, okay? Timing. Eating 3 meals a day, spaced out 46 hours. These things are not hard. So just go ahead and kind of get started with all of that, okay? And let's see, we're going to revisit right now component number 3, the combinations. So component number 3, the combinations. So it's like, how do I put together a properly combined meal? A properly combined meal can be put together once you have learned that there are 7 categories of food. So what we've done is we have taken all the foods and put them into 7 different categories based on how those categories of food respond inside your body once you've eaten them. So that's why foods have come up into this. And my favorite activity for new members to do is for them to write down all the foods that they like to eat on a regular basis. Then you look those particular foods up in the food library and you write down next to them what categories they are, because this program is really just taking all the foods that you are normally eating and then combining them properly. You might have to eat them in a different way than you're eating them, but we're just going to take the foods that you're already eating and combine them properly. And you might have to switch over a brand. Maybe you're using a tortilla right now that doesn't work. We'll just switch over to a different tortilla, one that works. Same thing with bread or a variety of other things, okay? So you're gonna learn the 7 categories of food. The 7 categories of foods are, number 1, lean protein. So I'm just gonna kind of point this out. On the charts, the combination charts that you'll see a 1, and for space sake, you're gonna see LP. LP stands for lean protein. And then this is category 2. Category 2 is a fibrous carb. You're gonna see FC. Category 3 is an energy carb. You're gonna see EC. Category 4 is a protein plus fat. You're gonna see PF. Category 5 is fruit, which is FR. Also known as an antioxidant carb. So on some of our documents, if you see AC, just know that that is fruit. It's a fruit. Category 6 is superfood. You're going to see that as SF. And category 7 is shellfish, which is SHF. Now, I want you to know that category 7 and category 1 are exactly the same thing. They are both lean proteins. It's just that for shellfish, it got pulled off of category 1 because biblical reasons and medical reasons, some people don't want to eat shellfish. So it just got pulled off into its own category. I have actually taken a Sharpie marker and drawn through this on people's combination charts so they don't even have to look at any combination with a category 7 in it to not, make it overwhelming. So if you don't eat shellfish, you could do the same thing, just mark it off. But there are 5 of these 7 categories that do not even have to be combined. You can eat them by themselves and you don't have to combine them. It's okay. So you can eat a lean protein by itself. You can eat fibrous carbs by itself. You can eat a protein plus fat by itself. You can eat superfood by itself, and you can eat shellfish by itself. So categories 3 and 5 are the 2 that you do not eat by themselves, okay? Now let's talk about 5 real quick, category 5, fruit. You don't eat it by itself while you're in weight loss, Once you get into maintenance, if you would like to have a serving of fruit as a snack by itself, you can. But in weight loss, we can't afford the insulin release that it brings, okay? So that's why in weight loss, you have to treat fruit differently than you do in maintenance. So in maintenance, you can eat fruit by itself as a snack, a serving of it. Okay, so it's category 3 and category 5 that you don't want to eat by themselves. If you do eat them by themselves, it's just called a holiday. You mark it as a holiday and you keep going, okay? So category 3 is one of those that you want to make sure that you eat it properly combined. So a category 3, let's just say all your potatoes are in category 3, all of your peas are in category 3, your lima beans, grits, things like that. That's in category 3. They're an energy carb, okay? If you want to eat a category 3 energy carb, you can. Weight loss, you can. It's not the fastest weight loss, but it will still keep you in EFB, okay? But the way that you eat that is you must combine it with a category 1 lean protein and a category 2 fibrous carbs. That's a must. You must combine it with 2 things. And so let's say that you want to have some English peas. So you want to have some English peas, and because all peas are category 3. You eat these English peas, and you're going to do about 1/4 cup, okay? So you're controlling. So maybe your 1/4 cup English peas sit right here, okay? You must combine that with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So let's say that you have a chicken breast under here, and then maybe you do some broccoli right there, okay? You're still combining. You're still portion controlling, okay? So that would be a category 3 plus a 1 plus a 2. So a category, and I always what Travis uses the reverse engineer, I always reverse engineer that. I think about the category that needs to be combined properly and then just work it backwards. So if I need to combine an energy carb properly, What is it that I need to combine it with? I needed to combine it with a category or a lean protein and the fibrous carb. That lean protein could be a 7 too. Okay, so lean protein is both 1 and 7, so it could be that. And then I could do it with my fibrous carb. Then let's look at the fruit. Same thing with the fruit. If you want to eat some fruit, it must be combined with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So let's just talk, I always use a breakfast example for this. Let's say you want to have some fruit for breakfast. You can do about half a cup of fruit actually. So you can do about half a cup of fruit, but you must combine it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So let's say that you wanted some fruit and then you made yourself an egg white spinach omelet. Okay, so your egg whites are your lean protein and your spinach are your fibrous carbs. So you could do that and that would make a lovely, lovely breakfast. So you can have that. So let's look right here at this protein plus fat, because that's always a good one to talk about. We're going to recap on the next page, but this protein plus fat is an excellent one to talk about what you don't eat with it. Okay, so you have your protein plus fat. Because it's got a little extra fat in it, and because of what the fat bus is, which we hadn't talked about yet, we're going to get into that right now and then in the next couple of slides, you have to treat it just a little bit differently. So what you don't eat a category 4 with is you don't eat it with 3s, 5s, or 6s. So you don't eat your protein plus fat with energy carbs, fruit, or superfood. Now, the protein plus fat is actually an excellent food. So just because it's got the word fat in it, I don't want you to think that it's a bad thing. This is not the bad kind of fat. This is a fat that our body needs for good function. Our brains need it, our tissues need it. We need it for good function. Okay, so it's not necessarily bad. But we do have to treat it a little bit differently because of the fat that's in it. So if we're going to have a protein plus fat, we just want to make sure that we eat that either. You could eat it by itself. Optimally, though, you would pair it with a category 2 fibrous carb. You would put that with a category 2, okay? But you could also eat a protein plus fat with some lean protein or some shellfish. So let's say you want to make yourself some surf and turf. You could have a little bit of steak and a little bit of lobster on that same plate and then do your fibrous carb. You could do that. What you just don't eat it with are the 3s, the 5s, or the 6s. And I'm going to tell you why right now. We're going to talk about putting together the classic plate of a steak and a baked potato, okay? Because baked potato, if you're thinking right now, I'm not going to ask people to comment, but if you're thinking right now, kind of pick out which category you think that baked potato would be in. Okay, briefly, because I'm going to tell you quickly. It's energy carb, okay? The potato is an energy carb. And remember I said you don't eat with category 4s with 3s. Here's why. An energy carb is going to bring an insulin release. Combining foods in a proper way control insulin. Insulin control is the number one way to reduce weight, controlling insulin. Does need to be combined with the portion control, but the number one is that insulin control. So we're going to eat that baked potato. Insulin is coming out, okay? Coming out. We've eaten that steak. It's a good protein and it's good fats. It's not bad fats, but it is fats. So these little fat lipids are running around. They're running around in our body. Well, the potato brought what we call the fat bus. Insulin is a hormone. It is a growth hormone, and it's a fat storage hormone. That's the type of growth hormone that it is, fat storage. It's like, who knew? Why would we need that? But we have it, so we have to learn how to control it. Okay, so the fat bus comes out, and guess what it's looking for? Fat lipids. So it's going to go around, it's going to pick up all those little fat lipids, and it's going to take it back to the storage facility, which is your behind, or your belly, or your arms, or your cheeks, or wherever it stores on your body. So it's going to take it back to the storage facility. So I literally, after I learned this, went by this luncheon table and I looked at this food and I said, oh, dang, you're going to bring the fat bus. And so I was like, I cannot eat that. That's going to bring the fat bus. And then obviously I chose something that wasn't going to bring the fat bus. So let's say that you want to eat that steak though, but now that you know this information, you're going to say, okay, I don't want that to happen. Let me choose a fibers carb with my steak. So instead of eating that steak and that baked potato, eat the steak and broccoli, eat the steak and green beans, eat the steak and side salad, eat the steak and some cauliflower, anything like that, okay? Or whatever protein plus fat is that we're talking about. I just use that one as a classic plate because I think it's easy for people to understand. But if you do, let's say that, guess what? On Planet Shibboleth, you actually don't have to give up anything that you enjoy. So if you truly enjoy that steak and that baked potato, you could have it on one of your holidays. You could still have it. There is nothing, literally nothing that you cannot have on Planet Shibboleth. It just depends on which day you choose to eat it. If you choose to eat it, then it's a holiday, okay? But if you don't want it to be a holiday and you want some steak, have it with a fibers carb. It's that simple. It is that simple, okay? And tomorrow night, I need y'all to register for the Zoom class for tomorrow night, because tomorrow night's Zoom class is going to be on food combining. We're going to go over what more foods that are in each category and the way that they look together, okay? If you guys are asking questions on Facebook and in the Zoom room, I'm going to come back to all of them, okay? I'm going to come back to all of them so that I don't lose my groove here. The most important rules of food combining, as a recap: category 1, which remember is really just a category 7 and a category 1 are the same thing. Category 1 or category 7 plus a fibers carb cooked in MCT oil is the fastest fat burning combination. So a 1 plus 2 plus MCT or 7 plus 2 plus MCT is the fastest fat burning combination. So that's a lean protein and a fibers carb. MCT is used as your cooking oil. Shellfish and a fibers carb with MCT used as your cooking oil. And we're going to go over MCT on another slide. If you want to eat a category 3, which I hope y'all are saying right now in your mind, because this is part of learning, energy carb. If you want to eat an energy carb, or if you want to eat, what's number 5? Fruit. If you want to eat an energy carb or fruit, you must eat it with a lean protein and a fibers carb. This lean protein could also be a 7, okay, because 1s and 7s are the same. So if you want to eat a 3 or a 5, it must be eaten with a 1 and a 2, a lean protein and a fibers carb. Don't eat your 4s, which are your proteins plus fat, with your energy carbs, your fruit, or your superfoods. I'm going to talk right now about superfoods. Superfood. How does a food end up in the superfood category? Simple. It has all the macronutrients in it, which makes it super, okay? It's got water in it. It's got lean protein in it. It's got carbs in it, and it's got fat in it, all 4. So most of our beans, most of our lighter colored beans are in the energy carbs, let's say lima beans and things like that. Most of the lighter colored beans are in energy carb, but there are some lighter colored beans that are superfoods just because they have all of those macronutrients in them, okay? This is why it's so important for you to write down the foods you like to eat and then look them up in the food library, because let's say that you like garbanzo beans, but you heard that, oh, lighter colored beans are an energy carb. Well, most of the time that's true, but garbanzo beans, because they have all of the macronutrients in them, are a superfood. So you'd want to just know that, okay? All of your darker colored beans are superfoods. That's also where you're going to find all of your nut butters, your nuts and seeds and things like that. So that's where peanut butter is. And then this is really important, this last point on this slide. All meat at a restaurant must be considered a category 4, protein plus fat, even if it's a piece of chicken and even if it's shrimp, which is shellfish. So if you're going to think that you go to a restaurant, oh, I want to have a 1 plus a 2 plus a 3 at a restaurant. So therefore, I'm going to order a lean protein or shellfish. I'm going to eat a little bit of a baked potato, and I'm going to have some broccoli. You don't want to do that. Unless it's a holiday. Here's why. At a restaurant, you do not know what oil they cooked it in. So they took a lean protein and they added oil to it, which is a fat. So they turned a lean protein into a protein plus fat by the oil they cooked it in. Okay, so you just need to consider all meat at a restaurant a category 4. And with understanding that, the way that keeps you safe, remember, is that you don't eat protein plus fat with energy carbs, fruit, or superfood. So that leads you down the ordering process of you need to order that with a fibrous carb. Okay, so that's really important to remember. Okay, so let's look at the next slide. So the next slide is approved cooking oils. Okay, so MCT is our highest suggested cooking oil, and we really prefer that you use the one from the Shibboleth store. Here's why. It has been maximized or optimized for cooking. It's called Zero Drag. That's the brand name that it's under. And with 1 tablespoon of it is your serving, and it's got 100 calories in it. When I look at a lot of MCT oils that aren't the Zero Drag, it hasn't been optimized for cooking, then I look at the 1 tablespoon, and it's got 130 calories in it. So things are not quite equal. But you also want to make sure that you're not getting an MCT that has been emulsified, okay? 100% MCT oil is okay for you to use, but a lot of them, it's just not the best for it. So I like the Zero Drag, but you can use it from wherever. But if you want to place an order at the Shibboleth store, you can do that and get the Zero Drag one. Do we require that you buy anything from the store? Absolutely not. Is it highly recommended? Am I recommending it? Yes. Because of the things I've already said. The next one is coconut oil. Coconut oil is 60% MCT oils, medium chain triglycerides. You could also use ghee butter, not to be confused with the meal replacement or the snack called ghee butter. That's not the same thing. Ghee butter is just clarified butter. Once the butter has been clarified, there's more MCTs in it, so that's why it works. Hemp oil could be used, and 0-calorie cooking spray also can be used. So this medium chain right here, I want to revisit that. I might have to come back to it. It might hit another slide, so we're going to go over that. Let's see. Okay. All right. So MCT oil, medium chain triglyceride. Let's compare it to a long chain triglyceride. A long chain triglyceride is things like canola oil, vegetable oil, olive oil, things like that. So those, as their name says, long chain triglyceride, it has a longer fat wick. The longer fat wick just takes a long time to burn up, and most of us aren't out there running a marathon that could be burning those things up for us, okay? So we want to stick with a medium chain triglyceride, one that burns up quickly. This medium chain triglyceride, MCT oil, burns up so fast that it has almost no propensity to be stored on the body as fat. And the reason that it would be, so last week somebody asked me the question, why is it preferred even over a 0-calorie cooking spray? Because the medium chain triglyceride is thermogenic as well. So it has a little bit of a heating up process, so it helps burn some extra calories, okay? But with me saying that these things are good, what I do not want you to hear, oh, it's really good. It's gonna help me burn fat. I'm gonna take it as a supplement. No, there is no getting the oil in or taking it as a supplement or anything like that. And you don't want to make bulletproof coffee with it or add it to any shake. You really are just going to use it for the purpose of cooking. So you could cook chicken in it or whatever else you want to cook it in. You could make MCT oil dressing with it. You can change out any other oil like a long chain triglyceride to the MCT in a recipe, that kind of thing. So you use it for the purpose of cooking. But let's say that you're cooking something in a pan, okay? You're cooking it up in a pan and you are, you're cooking it on high heat. Guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna be your smoke detector. So make sure that you use low to medium heat when you are cooking with MCT oil. Just the fact that I have to tell you that statement tells you that it burns up quickly. Otherwise, we wouldn't have to say cook it on low to medium heat, or it's going to set off your smoke detector, okay? I love that. I love that image of that it's burning up so fast, it's set off your smoke detector. It's like you're accessing stored fat and burning it up so fast that your smoke detector, you're smoking hot because the smoke detector is going off. But you're going to use the MCT oil for the purpose of cooking. The MCT oil also helps keep the fat bus away, because if you do have any type of energy carbs that are out and about or near that time, these have already burned up, okay? So any other energy carb going out and about with your long chain triglycerides mixed together, bad combo, okay? So you don't want to do that. So these are the approved cooking oils that you're going to use. Now I'm going to stop right now and look at some questions. Yeah, that's great, Brenda. Yep, awesome, Bo. Awesome, Bo. Mary, she's saying, is it too early to ask about IMF? IMF is intermittent fasting, and intermittent fasting is great at any time. So you can do that. If you know what intermittent fasting is about, please, you can intermittent fast, totally fine. And Mary, if you are a Tiger's Eye member or a Lifetime member, Gold member, I would highly suggest that you watch Travis's daily doses about intermittent fasting. Hey, Kania, I'm gonna tell you something. I really don't even enjoy vegetables all that much, and I haven't really eaten very many vegetables, okay? There's a lot of things that are category 2 plan that aren't vegetables, okay? So you can do that, that's okay. And if you need to talk to a mentor to help schedule up get a meal plan, then you can call a mentor, okay, Kania? And Deanda, how do you register for tomorrow night's class? Are you in the new member fast track group? Because if you are, I'm going to be putting the link to that in here right after that. Also, all of the classes are always in your pink tab in the website called online webinars. You can always go there as well. So you can register when I put the link in this group, or you can go to the website and register from the pink tab. Yes. Awesome, Bo. I'm so proud of you. Now, Bo and I are battle buddying right now. Let me just tell you, Bo's going to beat me. I know Bo's going to beat me. But don't let that stop you from getting in some walking, because I might pick up some walking this week, Bo. You are down 5 pounds. That is awesome. And congratulations for doing that 72-hour fast. That is crazy awesome. Wow. And then I hope you enjoy day today. Okay. All right, let me see. Sounds good. Okay, we're going to move to the next slide. So EFB is efficient fat burning. So there's a few things that we are doing to get ourselves into efficient fat burning. Once you've had 2 perfect days, you're going to see those as green checks on your in your timing chart. Once you've had 2 perfect days, your body gets into what we call EFB, efficient fat burning, and you're going to see flames on your timing chart. That's why I've got flames right here, okay? And you want to put as many flames together, like a streak of flames. You want to get a streak of flames together. Now, what has happened during those 2 perfect days is that your body has gotten rid of any insulin that was floating around in there. Your body has also used up its glycogen stores, okay? That's gone away. So once those 2 things have gone away out of your body and you are eating properly combined meals, portioned correctly, your body is going to access stored energy. Stored energy is just that excess fat that you're wanting to get rid of. So you got to figure out how to access that stored energy. The best way to access stored energy is make sure you're using the right cooking oils, and make sure that you are not giving it too many energy carbs, because energy carbs are easily accessible energy. Our body is always going to take the path of least resistance, just like human beings. We take the path of least resistance. I mean, who's not going to do that, okay? But our body, let's say that we've given ourselves some potatoes. I mean, potatoes are okay to eat, they're on the plan, but they are an easily accessible energy source. So we need some energy. Our body is going to access the potatoes first. It's going to access any oils first, okay? So if we are eliminating some of those things from our body to get started with, then we're going to have really great results. Now, if you are going to eat the potatoes, totally fine. But you've got to combine it with a 1 and a 2. And listen to what happens. You have eaten the potatoes, okay? Maybe about 1/4 of a cup. It'll fit right there. Then you put your fibrous carb here and your lean protein here, because remember, it has to be combined. But the insulin release is going to come from whatever energy carb, the potatoes. It's going to come from that. But because you combined it properly, the lean protein in the protein in the lean protein and the fiber in the fibrous carbs are going to neutralize the insulin release that's coming from the potatoes. That is amazing. Okay, this is scientific. This is not some gimmicky thing. This is science, all right? So you just have to make sure that you are doing that. So we are striving for perfect days so that our body can access that stored fat. But guess what? Planned or unplanned, a holiday is coming. That's okay. Enjoy the holiday, get right back to it. And that's what I was talking about in the beginning, is that it creates a life of balance. See, before Shibboleth, I was probably either on doing something really awesome and great, or I was eating at Freddy's fast food restaurant every time I could get on there. It was either one or the other. But see, now I still eat at Freddy's fast food restaurant, but it's on a holiday. It's a reasonable amount now, not an unreasonable amount, okay? So I will still have that. Now, I never did do the bun before Shibboleth anyway, so that wasn't, I never did, I don't do buns. But, but after a holiday, it takes 2 perfect days to get back into EFB again, okay? That is just gonna be the ebb and flow of the lifestyle. So you have a holiday, you've had an insulin release, you've had other things go on. So during those 2 perfect days that you have, your body is getting rid of insulin. It's getting rid of glycogen. All those things are going back out so that we can get back into that state, that bodily state where we're accessing stored energy, rather than utilizing some easily accessible source of energy. We're getting back into that state, okay? So another thing about insulin, well, I'm probably gonna get to that on another slide. When we're in EFB, our body will burn fat, stored energy. Well, I've already been over all that. Okay, so what is the fat bus? The fat bus is insulin. Insulin is a hormone. It's specifically a growth hormone focused on fat storage. After an insulin release, fat storage will occur for up to 48 hours. So that is why it takes 2 perfect days to get us back into EFB, okay? Because after an insulin release, fat storage will occur for up to 48 hours. This means that you are out of EFB. So it also increases your appetite, okay? So those of you that are here for a refresh, maybe after you've had a holiday, the day after, you're hungry. You're going, dang, I'm hungry. I really want something to eat, or I feel like I need something to eat. Well, here's the problem. The problem is you've got that insulin in your body and it's increasing your appetite. You literally have to take this strategy. This is your coping strategy. You tell yourself, oh, no, I'm not hungry. It's that insulin that's in my body. This insulin is dissipating over the next 48 hours. I will not be nearly as hungry. Then you make it from breakfast to lunch. You make it from lunch to dinner. You make it from dinner to bedtime. You get up the next morning, you won't be nearly as hungry. Then you get into that 3rd day, which is your first EFB day after your holiday. It's your 3rd perfect day, but remember, it's your first EFB day. You're not going to be nearly as hungry anymore, because y'all know if you're here for a refresh, you know that if you've had those perfect days, that you're not nearly as hungry after that. But then after you've had the insulin release, you just have to deal with that for 2 days if it's affecting you that way, okay? Because that's just what happens during those 2 perfect days. You got to deal with that. So after the fat bus has been on its rounds, it takes 2 perfect days to get back into EFB. And if you are journaling, you are going to see all of these icons on your timing chart, and you will be able to say, am I doing my best? Am I doing my best? Because the visual of your timing chart is going to help determine if you are doing your best, not necessarily the scale, okay? The scale is going to give you excellent results the first week, and the second week is going to give you excellent results. But you might get to a spot where your body has a little plateau. That does not mean that you should stop doing what you're doing, because then all of a sudden one day it'll give you 3 pounds, off where it wasn't giving you any, okay? So you have to use the timing chart rather than the scale to determine whether or not you're doing your best, okay? Let's look at the next slide. So let's see, got any more questions there? This is the question that I get most. Well, what am I going to eat this week? This week, your first 7 days, what are you going to eat? I need for you to make a list of 10 to 15 lean proteins that you like to eat. And then make a list of 10 to 15 fibrous carbs that you like to eat. Because remember, a lean protein and a fibrous carb cooked with MCT oil are your fastest fat burning meals. And those are the ones that you want to know. Now, if you're picking yogurt and putting some hemp flakes in there, you won't need MCT oil. But if you're cooking something, that you want to do the MCT oil. But see, on Planet Shibboleth, you don't have to eat anything you don't like. So you've got to come up with your favorites. But let me just tell you what helped me the first week. Some meal replacements for simplicity. Grab yourself some Mighty Muffins. Those are sold at lots of stores. We sell them in the Shibboleth store. And you can buy them online. I mean, right now, people aren't going out and about as much. So if you just want to order it online, We've got a great variety, and most stores don't carry a very large variety of Mighty Muffins, but I ate about 30 Mighty Muffins in my first 20 days. It's crazy, but I was doing whatever I could to what I was putting in my mouth to whatever it took to stay in EFB. That was my focus. My focus was EFB, efficient fat burning. So you're going to mix something right here from category 1 or category 7 and your fibrous carb. Make these meals. So stick right there with those meals. Throw in those meal replacements for simplicity. Keep it really, really simple in the beginning. Now, if you are in the new member fast track group, there is a post in there that tells you what I ate for my first 20 days. It is not a magical meal plan, but I put it in there because I want you to see what I ate, And then I also have a lot of, I've generated some meal plans from the meal plan generator and the website, and I have them saved as files in that group too. And we're going to talk about that group in just a second on my next slide. So we have a ton of awesome resources. So Shibboleth is a ministry, okay? I'm amazed with this ministry. This ministry is really, really providing the secrets of weight loss. It is. Secrets of weight loss. 1, insulin control, okay? MCT oil. Learning about the fat bus and what it is and how to control all of that. And so it is an amazing program. For the amount of money that you into Shibboleth, you are going to have so much value. The value on Shibboleth way outweighs what you paid to be a member. Okay, but you also need to utilize all of the resources. We have them there for you to use them, okay? So number 1, grab the Facebook support groups, get in them, join them. Okay, so you in the new member fast track group, that's the one that I run for this week. It runs for 1 week and then it repeats itself because I start a new fast track group every Sunday night. Once you've done that group, if you get tired of having my notifications every week, you can hop out of that group and utilize the other groups. But what I need you to do this week is I need you to focus in on the new member fast track group. I need you to participate in this group like you were going to get a college degree when you're finished with it. Otherwise, you're doing yourself a disservice because we've put the videos together for you to use. So if you're going to watch the fast track videos, you can watch them all at one time. There's only 14 of them. And it takes less than 1 hour to watch all 14 of them. And it's just a little bit, it's a kind of a recap of tonight, but a little bit more explanation on these things. And you do need to hear things multiple times to start to understand them, okay? So you're going to watch those. But every single morning, and this is the part that I find people don't do, but this is where you're shortchanging yourself if you don't. Every single morning, a post comes out. That post is a video of me showing you how to use the website. One of the best things I can do for you this week is to shorten your learning curve on how to use the website, how to edit your profile, because you really do need to edit your profile. You need to put in there your beginning weight, your beginning measurements. You need to put those things in there. Then you need to learn to access your journal, see where the registrations for online webinars are, look at your timing chart. But see, I'm going to show you how to do all that. And I can tell by looking at my YouTube views that those people are not watching those videos. So if you're not watching it, I mean, you're just shortchanging yourself, okay? Because I know how to use all of that stuff. I want you to know how to use that stuff. And the videos help you do that. I'll give a little assignment that says, tell me a fibrous carb and a lean protein that you would like to eat. Tell me tell me a protein plus fat and a fibrous carb that you would like to eat to get you thinking about things. I really want to help you by the end of the week have some meals that you like and that you can start creating all of your meal list, okay? Which is important. So really focus in on the new member fast track group this week. At the end, after you've watched all 14 little videos, you can take a test, pass the test, and you'll earn your very first badge, which is your fast track badge. All right. And then after that, we would like for you to continue your education by watching the daily doses. If you are brand new, to open up your full website, because you're getting a limited website right now because we like to keep it simple. Open up your full website. You do need to pass the phase 1 foundation test after watching all the original daily doses. But this week is fast track. You're going to want to familiarize yourself with our awesome website, but I can help you do that if you're watching the videos this week. And I would like for you to make a getting started mentor appointment. Okay, get to know our mentors. Joni, Missy, and Kim are absolutely amazing. They were right where you are right now, and they have overcome. And all they want to do is see you be successful too. So go ahead and your mentor appointment by going to that link right here, mentor.genbook.com. But schedule that mentor appointment for next week. I don't want you to do it this week. I want you to do it next week. But I do want you to go ahead and schedule the appointment for next week, like right now when we get off this, because they do get booked up. And so I want you to schedule it for next week. The reason I ask you to do it in that way is because this week I want you focused on fast track. If you still have questions, then you can ask them. You'll have an appointment already scheduled to ask them that. So that's really, really important. And so I do hope that you focus in on the fast track this week. And basically, welcome to the Shibboleth family. We are so glad that you are here, and we look forward to doing this with you forever together. And if you have not liked the Shibboleth public page on Facebook, please do. You can find me there Monday through Friday, every single week, a little bit before 8 o'clock, typically. And I'm there for daily devotion, morning motivation, accountability. It's just a way to get our day started because this is a lifestyle. You need to get the mindset of adopting it for life, because if you stop doing the things that are creating success, it goes back the other way, okay? And we don't want to go back the other way. We want to be always moving forward and progressing. Okay, let's look. Tania, please explain FC. FC is fibrous carbs. Fibrous carbs, and that's a great question. Thank you for asking. Let's talk about, I'm going to kind of back up a little bit to explain that. vegetables. There's a lot of vegetables out there, but not all vegetables respond in our body in the same way. Okay, so you're going to find a lot of vegetables in the energy carb and in the fibrous carb category. Fibrous carbs are those cruciferous vegetables, mostly like green beans, broccoli, cauliflower, squash, all of those kind of things are a fibrous carb. Now, the great thing about us is that we don't exclude any foods. We just teach you which ones are the best. So we have over 60 approved bread or bread type items in the fibrous carb category. We're going to learn more about that tomorrow night, okay? But fibrous carbs are those carbs that have enough fiber in them to help neutralize the fat bus when it's in combination with the protein. Awesome. Okay, good, good. And there's a lot of examples. If you, Kania, did you say you're new or are you refreshing? Okay. So if you're new, if your website has never been opened up to the full food library, you have some little examples of what those foods should be right there when you click on food library, okay? But so some more of them. But a lot of those cruciferous vegetables are in there, Kania. But like remember peas, all peas are a category 3 energy carb. And so that's kind of why it's important to go through that act of writing down the foods you like and then figuring out which categories they go into by looking them up in the food library. Awesome. And it really is like learning something important. Can I tell you that this is one of the most important things you can ever learn in your life? This is something that really should be taught in schools. I mean, this is something that, don't you wish you knew this before now? I wish I knew this before I turned, well, I just turned 50 in February, but don't you wish, I wish that I'd known this before 49. And the other thing, the other thing I did not know was I did not know what a meal replacement was before this program. And I thought, I have embraced a meal replacement. It makes my life easy. And there's my favorite 10 meal replacements are in the new member fast track group. Oh, the other thing I want to say about the new member fast track group is this. I keep it cleaned out of the things that you do not need to see. For example, the silver level group, oh, it's awesome, it's lovely, but there's a lot going on in that group. In the new member fast track group, it's only the posts that I believe will be beneficial to you. So what I highly suggest that you do, and I had somebody do this last week, and I could tell they were doing it because they were liking and commenting on everything. Miss Charlene, thank you, Charlene, for doing that if you're watching. She went back through. Scroll all the way to the bottom of the new member fast track group, come to that very first post that says that so-and-so created this group. Work your way back up through those posts like each one of them is an assignment and just do it. And you'll learn so much from doing that. Oh, thank you, Deanda. I appreciate it. Yeah, Premier Shakes work, Kania, that's good. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just so thankful the Lord lets me do this. I mean, I feel like the Lord has given me a wonderful ministry platform. If you looked back through my prayer journals over, the past few years, the question was asked so many times by me to the Lord, what do you want me to do with my life? And I'm here. I'm so excited about it. So let me see if anybody's saying anything on Facebook that they have questions. Okay, so Sheila asked, where did she register for tomorrow night? The best way to register for tomorrow night is to go to the pink tab in your website. It says online webinars and register there. But I am also going to post it in the group. Let's see. Awesome. You don't have to be on Zoom to do this because I also usually stream it live through the silver level group just to make sure that if anybody wants to watch it, they can. But I like Zoom because the comments are real time. But I don't utilize this as too much of a real time thing because I lose my train of thought. And I hope y'all can understand that. And then I kind of come back at certain points and look back. But so either way, Zoom or Facebook, but I prefer Zoom if you have access to it. All right, well, I will see y'all tomorrow night at 8 p.m. You can go to the pink tab called Online Webinars to register for it. I'm also going to put it in the new member fast track group in just a few minutes. This video will also be there in the fast track group in just a few minutes after it downloads and uploads. Downloads from Zoom, and I upload it to YouTube, and then I'll put it into the website. And then tomorrow morning, you're going to see day 2 of your 7-day fast track post come out. It's a video of me showing you how to use the website. You may have to go into your settings in Facebook and mark that you want notifications. You may not be notified of it. You're going to have to say, I'm doing fast track this week. Let me go to the Facebook group. Let me click on that button and let me see what she posted this morning. Because Facebook doesn't always notify us of everything that we want to be notified of. Okay, sometimes you have to specifically and purposefully go there and seek it out. Awesome. Okay, well, we're going to have great success. Do you know, let me give you a little example of what I think you can lose this week. I truly believe you can lose at least 7 pounds in 7 days. Pounds in 7 days. If you've got a lot of weight to lose, it can be more than that, but that is on average a great weight loss for your first week. But when you listen to the welcome and the program overview on the fast track videos, I'm going to go into some more percentages of weight loss that you can expect to lose. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much. Bo, I hope that you get up in the morning to hear the devotional too, but if not, you can watch it on replay. All right, so you get some good sleep. Sleep's important as well. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow morning if you join me on the Shabola's Facebook page, the public page, and then I'll see you tomorrow night live on the same back channel. Bye, y'all.